Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain some common rules about division. So now let us understand the method of division. So I have taken first one digit divisors. So here are the three examples. Let's try to understand when we are having the same divisor but the dividend is changed. So how the division is possible? Now the first rule says that whatever number of digits we are having, we are going to take the first digit only, right? So what we will do, we will see whether this number is divisible by 3, or I can say whether 6 comes in 3's table, and you will say yes ma'am, and we will divide it by 3 2s are 6 and we will get a remainder 0 after the subtraction, right? Now in the second method we are having 1. Now please try to understand the rule of taking two digits together is possible if the first digit is smaller than your divisor, because I can say 1 doesn't come in 3's table. So to make this 1 a greater number, I join 6 also along with it and it becomes 16. So whether 16 comes in 3's table, let us see that, and you will say no, it doesn't come. So I will write 5, 3 5s are 15, and the subtraction will give you answer 1 and 0. Right. Now let's see the third number 3, which is equal to this divisor. So I am taking this number all alone and I will say 3 1s are 3. I will get a remainder 0 after the subtraction. I will bring this number down to this remainder. 0 and 6 becomes again 6 only. And whether 6 is possible in 3's table? Yes, it is. 3 2s are 6 and I get a remainder 0. Now let us focus on all the three numbers. Now the three questions are saying 1 digit, 2 digit number and 2 digit number as a dividend. But if you see properly, can you see I have written 2 on the top of 6. I have written 5 on the top of 6. I have written 1 on the top of 3 and 2 on the top of 6. Now please try to understand the reason behind it is when you write 2 above this 6, it means you have divided this number. But when you see the second number, it is 1 and 6. Why I have written the 5 on the top of 6? Why not on top of 1? It means when you write the quotient here, it means you are dividing this complete number together. So those who will write 5 here, that will be a wrong method. Now in the third one, we have to do 2 steps of division. The reason behind, I can divide this first number all alone, because the rule is whether the number should be equal to the divisor or it can be greater than also divisor. Then you have to divide all alone. But in case it is smaller than divisor, you have to take two numbers together or you have to make it a greater one than your divisor. Now let's see few more examples. So now you can see 2 digit divisor. There are again 3 questions and the same divisor. Now let's see the answer of first question when we are dividing 50 by 12. We have to see 12's table, and in 12's table 50 doesn't come. So I'll find out a number which is less than 50, and the table is 12 1s are 12, 12 2s are 24, 12 3s are 36 and 12 4s are 48. Now since I am dividing 50 together, not 5 only, so I'll write 4 above 0 and I'll write 48. Now most of the time it has been observed that students write a wrong answer in difference. So please understand the differences in the same manner. You are going to borrow 1, you will make it 10, you will make it 4, and again you get an answer 2 as a remainder. Now let's see the next number. It is 144. Again the rule says 1, which is less than 12. I'll take 2 digits together, it becomes 14. Now 14 is more than 12. So I'll take these two numbers together, and 14 doesn't comes in 12's table. So I'll write 12 1s are 12. and after the subtraction I get answer 2 and 0. Now bringing this third digit down near to the remainder. Now when you are bringing it down, it becomes 2, 4, 24, and 24 comes in 12's table at 2. So it is easily divisible now, and we get a remainder, final remainder as 0. Now let's see the third one. In the third question, I have given 1, which is less than 12. Then 1 and 1 becomes 11. It is again less than 12. So now this time I am going to take 3 digits together, and when you take 3 digits together, it becomes 110. Now let's see whether 110 comes in 12's table. Then if you will read it, no, it will not come. It will be at 12 nines. 108 will be the nearest and smallest number to 110. So again the same thing, you are going to borrow, and you will finally get answer 2, 0 and 0. Now again the comparison of 3 of the questions. Please try to see. There was a 2-digit number and I get 1-digit quotient, and we get some remainder also. 3-digit number as dividend and the quotient is 2-digit, and over here 3-digit number and the quotient is 1-digit. Now you have to understand that the rule of division is same. Only the thing is it changes when the digits are smaller or greater in number. Now let's see for the 3-digit number. Now this is a number where 3-digit divisor is there, and I have written a 5-digit dividend. Now the thing is that since the number is a 3-digit, so definitely the minimum numbers which I am going to take is the 3 numbers together. Now 248 table, I am not asking you people to learn it. I have already shared a method how you are going to write the tables. Now the most important thing is you have to see to very few things before writing the table. I don't want you to write the complete table. Now since it is 290 and this is 248, of course 248 is less than 290, and your multiplication of 248 by 2 will give you some answer by 400, isn't it? Because 2 to the is 4. So without writing the table, we can come to know that our first step is 248 ones. It is 248 only, and after the subtraction, your borrowing, you get answer 2, this becomes 8, and this is 4. The best method to check your answer is after every subtraction, the remainder which you are getting should be always less than your divisor. So bringing the next digit down, now this number is 423. Now let's check it whether 248's table, when I multiply by 2, I'll get an answer. This is 4, 4 2 is 8, and this is 16. So my final answer is 6. One taken here is 9 and 4. Isn't it? This is the method I have already shared with you. So it is 496, which is greater than 423. So again I will be taking ones. 2, 4, 8. Let's do a correct subtraction. Subtracting, I will getting it 13. I will get answer 5 here. Making it 1, and then later on again 11. This will give me an answer. It will be 7, and the last one is 1. Now again, if you can see, 175 is less than 248. So I am bringing this 0 down to the remainder, and it becomes 1750. Now I don't need to write the complete table of 248. What we will do is we will see the first 2 digits. It's a 17. Does 17 comes in 2's table? You will say no, ma'am. What is nearest to 17 is 16. So instead of writing complete table, what I'll do, I'll find out the table for 248 8s, because 8s will give me 16, and over here 8s will 32, and this 8 8s is 64. And if I'll compile all the things, 4 as it is, 6 added to it will become 38, 3 added to it will become 1984. It means it is greater than this number. Now I'll see for 248 sevens. Let's see for that also. Now when I'll write 14, 28 and 56. So my final answer will be 6. 5 added to this number will become 33. So I'll write 3 here. And 3 added to this number is 17. So when I multiply this number by 7, I will get 1736, which is less than 1750. So we will directly divide it by 7 and I'll get answer 1736. Now let's see the last step of difference. So when we borrow 1, it becomes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 4 minus 3 will become 1 and 2 zeros. Now this is something where you have to really find out why to write the complete table. We don't need that, right? The only thing you have to check is every subtraction will give you a less number than your divisor. I hope you will learn these methods and you will apply it while doing your questions of division. Thank you.